look who decided to join us in his little box. We got Mr. Gus. Would you like to say hi? Thank you. So we are doing a weekly vlog this week. I've not done one of these in a while, and I thought it was a good time to start a vlog because I really wanted to hold myself accountable for something that I'm actually starting today. So I'm doing something that's very outside of my comfort zone, very much something that I would have never in a million years thought I would ever do, and that's running a 10K marathon. So over the weekend, my oldest sister calls me, and she actually lives in Halifax, and she asked me if I wanted to fly to Halifax in a couple months and do a half marathon with her. I immediately said yes, like no hesitation. I don't know if it's because I love my sister so much or because I just really like the idea of this challenge, because I've never ran any type of marathon, let alone like 5K. I have been looking for a challenge, especially when it comes to my workouts. I've been in such a rut with my workouts and honestly just have not been enjoying them at all. For the last 3 years, I've been very consistent with my workouts, and I've always really enjoyed it, but there's something that clicked or happened over the last 6 months that just honestly made me hate working out so much. Working out for me is also such a form of self-care, and to not enjoy it just was not doing me any favors. So over the last 6 months, I've been working out kind of less and less and just haven't really been feeling great about that. And I've been trying to get back into it, trying to get re-inspired, re-motivated, and I honestly didn't really know what to do to get to that point. And I felt like when my sister presented me with this marathon, I was like, wait, this is the perfect opportunity to do something completely outside of my comfort zone. It's going to challenge me a ton. And I'm just honestly really curious to see if I can actually dedicate myself to it, because I've never really dedicated myself to any type of physical challenge before, and I don't know if I can do it. So my sister initially wanted me to run the half marathon with her. And I thought a half marathon was 10K. Turns out it's not, it's 20. I was like, okay, 20K doesn't sound so bad. But then I realized I can barely run 3. And we both kind of decided that maybe a half marathon would be a little bit too much. So we decided that I would do the 10K run, which I think is actually doable. So I was trying to find a good run training plan, and I found that the Nike Run Club app has some really nice plans. It seems to have really good reviews, so I thought that would be a good place to start. My plan is to do the 4-week beginner plan. This is for people who don't run, me. Then I'm going to do an 8-week 10K plan. And I think that will be perfect because that also lines up perfectly with the marathon. So the question is, where do I train? I really only want to run outside because the thought of running on a treadmill is so unappealing. I would rather run outside when it's -20. I find running on a treadmill to be painfully boring, and if there's anything that will stop me from working out, it's a boring workout. But the problem is that I'm in Montreal, and it's cold. February, March, notoriously very wet, cold, snowy, and unpredictable. Some days could be really nice, some days could be freezing, some days could be snowy, some days could just be kind of wet and slushy. So not the best for outdoor running, but this is part of the challenge, I guess. All that means is that I just need to dress properly. And speaking of dressing properly, I actually already went to a running store to pick up some essentials because that's just what I do. As soon as I decide I want to do something, I'm like, okay, I need to get all the supplies, all the things that I need in order to be able to do this thing. And so it was no surprise that I immediately went to get new shoes and new outdoor running gear. Long sleeve Lululemon. I picked up some leggings from Craft. These are the everyday training wardrobe leggings, and they're really nice and warm, so it's good for outdoor running. A little headband to keep my ears warm. A running jacket from Craft. So these are my new shoes. I ended up getting the On Cloud Eclipse. I went to a specific running store and I tried on a bunch of different running shoes. These were the ones that I liked the most because they were very cushiony and I really liked the way that they felt. I'm also gonna put on a neck warmer. I can't find my sweatproof one. I do have one. I don't know where it went though. Headband. Jackets on. Let's see what the temperature is outside today. It's super sunny, which makes me concerned. Because normally when it's really sunny in the winter, it means it's really cold. Yeah, it's -10. I also don't know where my more svelte running gloves are, so I'm gonna put on these mittens. It's fine, it works. My AirPods have been charging, also very important. Do I look like a runner, guys? If you saw me running, would you be like, oh damn, that girl knows what she's doing. It looks like she's about to run a 10K. That's what I'm going for. Update you when I'm back. Bye. I am so proud of myself right now.
20 minutes straight. Did not stop. I actually didn't even think I would be able to do that, but I did. And not only did I do, but it actually felt kind of easy. Couple quick thoughts. It's -10, and even though I'm just wearing tights and a lightweight jacket, I actually feel so warm. So clothing, perfect. Shoes also great. They feel amazing to run in. My first time running in them, and they're really bouncy and fantastic. And I almost got emotional at one point because I was just so proud of myself for doing it, because I genuinely thought that it would be so difficult. And I was like, oh, I can actually do this.
So with the Nike Run app, you have a coach, like a guided coach as you're running. And the coach essentially just kept saying, like, you need to run very chill, very relaxed, where you can even still have a conversation if somebody were to ask you a question. You really just want to get your body used to running. And it was so cool because as I was running, I was passing other people who were running. And as they would pass me, they would give me a little like runner's nod. And I felt so cool. Because I was like, oh my God, am I in this like secret run club society right now? Gussie, you want to say hi to everybody? Yes, you're so beautiful. Just got out of the shower. Let's do a little light makeup. Let's put on some clothes because this towel will not do. And I gotta film some content. I just filmed a couple things for Instagram and TikTok, and one of the things that I filmed was the reveal of my crochet sweater. And I need to show my YouTube fam as well because it's everything. I've never made any type of clothing in my life, okay? I started off first by making a sweater for Gus, and it turned out so cute, and it kind of gave me the confidence to then try and make a human-sized sweater. I was on YouTube one day and I came across this video. I'll link it down below in case you guys want to check it out. And I watched the entire thing and I was like, you know what? This actually doesn't look to be that difficult. I feel like I can probably get it done. So I started my journey of making this cardigan, and it took me about 2 months to do. And unfortunately, the video that I was following, it was a fantastic video, but it wasn't really a pattern. So I had to watch what she was doing. And when I was going through the comments of that video, there were a lot of people who were giving very helpful tips on what they did when they decided to remake the sweater as well. And then I also took my own adjustments that I was making as I was, going through making the sweater. And so because it wasn't like a definite pattern that I was following, I was a little bit nervous that it wouldn't end up working out. But spoiler alert, it absolutely did. And not only did it work out, but this is, I think, like literally the nicest sweater / cardigan that I have in my closet. It is so my style. It's so fun. And I just absolutely adore it. And I'm honestly so incredibly proud that I actually ended up making something that not only fits and works as a sweater, but that I actually love. Like, it is the most fulfilling thing ever. It's time for an editing break because I just got a pretty exciting package. So these are actually rug samples because I have been on the hunt for the perfect rug for our living room. Finding a rug has proven to be quite tricky. I thought that this would be the easiest part of like the decorating process, but I swear I have seen every single rug on the market and I have not been able to find something that is just right. What I'm looking for isn't even that complicated. I just want something that's neutral, but still with a little bit of texture. And I'm just looking for that right combination of that. So all that to say, I got some rug samples from Crate & Barrel. And it's quite funny because I just got a text from Florence, who's my interior designer that I'm working with. She's helping me with everything. She sent me a link to this rug that I actually think is like the perfect rug for the space. The only problem is they don't ship to Canada. So we're trying to see if we can make this happen. Let's still see what these samples look like. I got 3. Oh, this is a good box for Gus. Gussie, you want to jump in this box? And we're actually getting our couch made and it should be ready within the next like 2-3 weeks, which is so exciting. This week, we're actually doing our seating test. So I'm gonna take you guys with me. So all that to say, I have a fabric sample. So the first one that we have here is called Athens. It's actually a really nice size sample. It's 100% wool and the color is sand. What I really liked about this one is that it was quite plain, but there was a lot of nice texture to it. And I really like the color of it. I've been going between either more of like a ivory cream rug or something that has a little bit more warmth to it. And I think this is a nice option. My couch fabric is definitely a busier fabric, so it's not gonna go with everything. There's like green, beige, even a little bit of teal in it. And so I need a very simple rug to allow it to breathe a bit. So this is called the Bozeman rug in light tan. I really like the difference in textures here. The only thing that worries me with this is Gus. My current rug that I have, he really enjoys scratching at. I think it would be much of an issue because they're not loops and it's kind of more like a jute situation. I just worry that it's gonna look worn if he starts to dig at it. Even something like this could be an issue. I don't know. I need to put him on the rug and see what happens. Okay, the third sample that I got is actually the same style as the one that I just showed you, just in another color variation. So this one is in taupe, has a little bit more light brown and dark brown and even a little bit of like a cooler gray color in here. So now that I'm looking at this with the couch fabric, I actually feel like it almost looks too busy, which is interesting because it's a solid color, but there's something about the texture that makes it look busy. This, I feel like both of the pieces kind of can have their moment. And let me show you the option that my designer sent me that she made me fall in love with. It's from a brand called Our House. This is literally exactly what I was looking for and completely unable to find anywhere else. I think there could be ways around the shipping to Canada thing, but I'm not getting my hopes too high. Let me know what you guys think. I'm absolutely starving right now, so I'm just gonna heat up some quick lunch. My boyfriend made some chili last night. You saw my video where I talk about some of my 2024 goals. I mentioned that I'm trying not to eat out or order out as much. I was actually this close to ordering some lunch from Uber Eats, but then I remembered that I had these beautiful leftovers in the fridge. Adding a little dollop of sour cream because that makes everything better. So good. So pretty much every morning I wake up between 7 and 7:30 because Gus will jump on me if I don't. So he'll start off by going to his litter box and then he'll do a little meow, meow, meow. And then he'll start by jumping on the bed in a way where it like has to surprise me. He'll go this close to my face and just like start staring at me. Yeah, right, Gussie? Yeah. You do that. Then, if I don't get up at that point, which I pretty much never do, he will resort to biting me. I call them nibbles, love bites, perhaps. He'll typically bite my chin. It's always my chin. It's lovely. I need to show you what I made last night. Are you screaming? Because I'm screaming. I posted my cardigan reel on TikTok and Instagram, and a couple people said that they thought that I should make a matching sweater for Gus. And I said, say less. I made Gus a matching sweater with the leftover yarn. And it's actually so good. And it took me no time at all because this yarn is so chunky. It took me about like an hour and a half, whereas normally his sweaters can take me like 4 or 5 hours to make. So that was pretty great. He actually does wear his sweaters and he really enjoys them. He always purrs when I put them on. I never keep them on for very long. It's literally just for if he has to go outside because despite all of his fur, he actually does get cold. Anyways, besides that, I want to get in my second run of the week. Today is another like chill 20-25 minute run. And I asked my sister's husband, who's a big runner, if it's like silly to do such short runs. And he said basically what I thought he was going to say, which was no. And your body needs to get used to the running, and it's better to start slow because if you hurt yourself, then you're kind of effed. Starting slow and building up a good solid base is what people make the biggest mistake of not doing. Besides running, I do have to work. I'm trying to decide if I want today to be a Jamie Paige Doodles day or if I want it to be a Jamie Paige day. Tomorrow is a Jamie Paige Doodles day. I have to do things for a new launch. Today I need to film something. I need to film a YouTube video. This is technically a YouTube video that I'm filming, but I don't think I'll be able to post it for this week, so I need another video or two for this week. And I have absolutely no idea what I want to film. I just know that I need to film today. This is why I really don't vlog that often though, because I just feel like my days are so boring to watch because I feel like I actually don't do anything exciting. Like I literally just talk to myself in front of a camera and then sit in front of a computer and edit myself talking to myself in front of a camera. Before we do any of that though, I think it's really important that we see what Gus looks like in his new sweater. Gus sweater time. Are you ready? Can we see how this looks on you? Oh my
God.
Is everybody like throwing up right now? Because this is the cutest thing you've ever seen? Because I am. See, I told you, he loves his sweaters. He's purring. You're so cute. First of all, I can't believe like how it fits him literally perfectly. I think I'm a professional at making cat sweaters or something. Wow.
The second run is done. I actually ended up running 3 kilometers, which is longer than yesterday, and I felt really good all the way through. I did not stop. My pace was super even. I actually think I could do this. Like, that's crazy.
So throughout the entire run, the coach in the Nike Run Club app basically said to keep a really steady pace the entire time. But at the last maybe like 5 or so minutes, he said that if you feel like you can push a little bit. And so I did. And I ran a little bit faster. I just had this moment of euphoria. And I guess that's what you call a runner's high. I felt like I was releasing some needed energy. I'm just really excited. Anyways, I'm just eating some breakfast. I made myself some oatmeal. This is like my current breakfast obsession. I go through phases with my breakfast. I pretty much eat the same thing for like months at a time, and then I just switch it up randomly, and it's really delicious, especially for when it's super cold outside. I've been filming and editing videos all day long. Instead of just sharing footage of me like talking to the camera or me editing, I really wanted to share with you some reno updates. So I had let you guys in on all of the plans for all of like the little projects that I have going on around my house. And one of the big projects was the complete reconstruction of my entryway. Now, I did mention that I would film the entire process, and I feel really annoyed with myself because I didn't end up doing that. Mainly because when all of this work was getting done, I was really sick and I can barely function. I can barely even get out of bed. So the thought of like filming the work being done just was not gonna happen. So it was just really bad timing. So instead, I'm just gonna show you the end result. I promise when it's time to do the big arch on this wall, which is gonna be a massive project, I will be bringing you guys along the entire way because that's gonna be even bigger work, really. And here is the gorgeous new closet. And as you can see, the entire room, including the closet, is this beautiful shade of green. Florence obviously was the one who designed this entire room, and she did the most absolutely amazing, gorgeous job. She really nailed my vision. We decided that we wanted it to be completely monochromatic, which is why the walls and the closet match. There was actually a little bit of a hiccup. We initially painted the walls shade grown from Sherwin-Williams, and that was the first thing that we did. And then I got a sample of what the closets were going to be, and I was supposed to confirm that it matched with the wall color because that was what was supposed to happen. Sample was super small, it was about this big, and so I was pretty confident that it matched, and it turned out that it didn't. So when we first got the closets installed, we realized very quickly that the doors did not match the paint color at all, and it was kind of clashing a little bit. So we actually had to end up painting the wall color a second time. I ended up taking one of the closet doors to a paint store and they matched it pretty much perfectly. And obviously this is lacquered, it's not paint, so the finish is a little bit shinier, and it's not gonna be 100% the same as compared to a flat wall. It ended up working out perfectly though. I actually do like this color even more. It's a little bit richer, which I think is just really pretty. Like, I thought it would make the biggest difference, and I'm learning very slowly in these renovations or little projects that we're doing is that yes, everything is all in the details, but sometimes with the things that you think matter a lot don't matter at all. Like I was convinced that this would ruin the entire vibe. Genuinely, if I didn't know that we repainted this room, I wouldn't even have known that the color changed. Like it was so subtle, but it made all the difference. So let me show you the closets. I never thought that I'd be so excited about closet doors. They are absolutely massive. Just for reference, I'm 5'8", okay, and I hit right over here, and the closets go all the way to the top. So they are huge. Florence did the most beautiful job in designing such gorgeous details in the doors. There's these little grooves which just give a little bit of interest, but still keeps everything really simple. We also decided to go for these absolutely lovely large concaved wood handles. I got them off of Etsy. I'll link them down below in case you're interested, but they're really beautiful. So here's what the inside of the main part of the closet looks like. I ended up going with this like light oak finish, which I love. It just kind of lightens things up, especially when you open it up. So at the bottom here, we have this ginormous drawer, which opens up and houses our everyday shoes. So this is definitely a little bit of an unconventional way to store shoes, but it actually ended up working out really, really nicely. We can fit so many pairs of shoes in here, and that's because I got these little risers from Amazon, which are totally key, especially if you need a space-saving solution when it comes to like shoe storage. These are absolutely incredible. I'll also link these down below for you guys. We also made a little cubby that is specifically for my boyfriend's hockey bag and mine and his gym bag. This is honestly such a game changer because hockey bags are huge and he had no place to put it. So to be able to have like a dedicated space for like all the gym bags, this is amazing. I even have a little cubby, guys, for my yoga mat. And moving up a little bit, we have some drawers. So we have more of like a narrow drawer on the left-hand side over here where I'm keeping our reusable bags. We have a lint brush, and this is like a little spray for my boyfriend's hockey bag. This is all very like preliminary organization. Things will likely change a little bit. Next to that, we have a much larger drawer, which is where we are storing our baseball hats, basically all of our winter gear. We are also having our closet maker create a little shelf that will sit on top of this so that it's covered. That way, when you open up, you don't see like the stuff right in your face. I also got these little bins off of Amazon just to keep everything nice and organized. And then moving back to the left-hand side, this is literally my favorite thing in the entire closet. We decided to have a sunglasses drawer made. This is seriously the biggest game changer, and I feel really fancy with the actual sunglasses organizer in my closet. It's really awesome. This is obviously where some of the jackets are hung. We ended up putting in these mechanisms that actually pulls down the coat rack. Because it's so high up, it's pretty much impossible to reach, or you have to really go on your tippy toes. So this makes things a lot easier. And then once you hang up your jacket or you take a jacket down, you just lift it back up, which is really awesome. So that's the first part of the closet. And in the second part of the closet, pull down rack over here, another drawer. This is where we're keeping some of like our running stuff. Drawer over here, we're probably gonna end up changing. It's honestly a bit of an awkward one. It was meant for boots. Gus really likes jumping inside of it, but I'm not really sure if that's what we're gonna keep in here. And here we have another pull down coat rack and then a regular coat rack, which is gonna be the one that we're going to be using for guests because it's just easy for people to access. At the very top, those push to open and they're just really large spaces for storage. So right now I actually have our spring jackets up there in storage. This is where the giant round smoke glass mirror is gonna be going. We are not putting it up yet until we do the arch thing in the living room because it shares a wall and we're worried if like something happens and it ends up falling. So we're just gonna wait until that's done. So there are a couple things that are left to do. We need to obviously hang up that mirror. We also would like to get a new bench. I also wanna get a new rug. I would love to get a ruggable of some kind because they're easy to wash. I just haven't settled on what design I want. Then I also wanna hang up a piece of art, I think on this wall because it's pretty empty. I actually have this piece over here that I've had for years. I mean, it definitely goes really nicely. I'm just not sure if I want something like this or something maybe a little bit more fun. So that's the entryway. I absolutely love it. I love how moody and dramatic it is. Like I said, Florence just knocked it out of the park. This is probably gonna be starting really, really soon because the actual unit itself is done. There's a lot of work that needs to be done to the wall before the unit is actually able to go in. So we need to find somebody to frame and plaster it, which is gonna be a ginormous job. We haven't found somebody yet. We actually just got the template from the guy who is making the actual unit. And the guy who's doing the framing will use this to make sure that the arch is exactly how it should be so that it fits. Back to the rug conversation, Florence threw me a total curveball. She is so good at sourcing like the most perfect pieces. And she found what I think is probably the most perfect rug to ever exist for my living room. It's not exactly what I thought I wanted for the space. I thought I wanted something very neutral, very simple, like nothing interesting at all. Because there's a lot of textures, a lot of colors going on in the space. I didn't want the rug to compete very much, but she explains it as still finding something that's well researched, meaning finding a rug that does kind of hit those boxes, but that looks intentional. She found it. We have a beautiful cream background. Then we have this gorgeous taupey warm brown color in these like stripe details. They're not really stripes, but in these lines. If you look really close, you'll be able to see little bits of lime green kind of weaved in between the brown. Quiz time. What's the color that is weaved throughout my entire space, from the entryway all the way to my kitchen, just everywhere? It's green. So the fact that this neutral rug has just a little hint of green in it, that's not too obvious, that's not too in your face, but it's there. It just kind of ties everything together. Paired with the couch fabric, I'm drooling. I did also get 2 more samples from Restoration Hardware. First is the Hadia rug. This is a very, very, very fluffy wool rug, and it has some like stripe details, and it's such a thick wool rug. I feel like this would be way too warm in the summertime, so this is an immediate no. This one I do like. It's called the Leka hand knotted wool rug. It's hard to tell in the sample, but it has like a really cute little pattern on it. It's not as thick as the other rug. My worry with this, again, is more of a Gus thing. Like, I genuinely feel like he would make this rug look terrible if he scratches at this and he pulls out some of these loops. I was also really disappointed with how thin and flimsy this rug was, considering the price of these Restoration Hardware rugs. I thought that it would be, you know, not so flimsy. So that didn't impress me at all. Anyways, I'm like 75% sure I want to go with this. We'll see though. So that's where I'm at with all the rugs. I'll let you guys know once we finally decide. All right, it is Wednesday and I am here at Cow Goes Moo, which is the wonderful letterpress studio. Here is Allison and Sarah back there. So I work with Allison and Sarah on a bunch of different things for Jamie Paige Doodles. We create the most beautiful, gorgeous, stunning stationery products together. And back in October, we actually made my emotional support bookmark. The black version of that bookmark sold out within like 30 minutes or something crazy like that. It just did really, really well. So I decided to continue to make these emotional support bookmarks in different color variations. With every color variation, once they're sold out, they're gone. So I am back here today because we are prepping 3 new colors for the emotional support bookmark. Today we're only going to be printing 2 of the 3 because the foil for one of them was back ordered and it didn't come in time for today, and they're actually going to be printing it tomorrow, but I'm going to bring you guys along on the journey of printing the other 2. Okay, so this is going to be one of the bookmarks. It's lime green, it has even a little bit of a shimmer to it, and then we put this insane it's not holographic, the sparkle holographic foil. Check it out. Stunning, right? Absolutely stunning. This one is going to be with white foil, and then this is the 3rd variation that we're not printing today, unfortunately, because this foil is not in yet, but it's this gorgeous lavender with like a mermaid teal. There we go. Okay, it's gonna be absolutely stunning. We're very excited for this. I'm so disappointed we're not printing it today, but it'll be ready tomorrow.
Okay, so previously we did this on the Cricut machine, and it was a lot of time. The blade had to trace the shape 3 times, I think, on each one, and you had to peel the sheets off, and it was really, really time consuming. So we convinced Jamie to invest in a die. So it's called Squiggle, and it's her beautiful shape, and I will show you how we cut it out.
This is the first time that I'm seeing this, which is really cool. Whoa.
Now we could just go with like
oh
a
my
stack
God.
of paper, you know?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's way better than the Cricut. The Cricut.
Like, I just bring this back to then make it go forward.
No, whoa. There's a lot happening. There's pumping of the foot.
Yeah, treadle makes this wheel go, okay?
How's it gonna work with my shoes that are way too big?
Definitely. I don't think any other printer online would feel good about us doing printing in slides. The treadle works the wheel, but you don't want the wheel to come back. So you want it to go forward. And then you just keep going with the wheel, with the treadle, I mean. And then you just slow it down so that you can...
My brain is not computing.
I know, it's really hard.
This.
You gotta but don't worry.
Oh my God, it's like...
You want to make sure you're hitting all the guides, okay? So
I'm hitting all the guides.
You're good. Tip up the wheel.
Okay.
Just treadle it out, and it'll catch.
I did it.
You did it.
I feel anxious now. I've done this before, but I don't want to mess it up.
Nice vibe here.
There we go. Then, yeah, it's okay. That's part of it.
Show it off, Jamie.
I did it.
Oh my god. Oh, she's going, folks.
I'm just
Wrong direction.
already messing it up.
Oh yeah.
Are you guys gonna hire me?
Oh my god.
Wow.
I can't handle it.
I can't handle
Give
it
it
too.
a little like shake, you know? Oh yeah. Shimmy, shimmy, shake.
Okay, so now we're doing the full process, setting up the new foil because they already did all of my greens for me. And now we're doing the blue, so we gotta do the white.
To set up the next color.
Yeah. A little cipher word.
So we're gonna test it first on a extra black that we have here. Woo!
Oh, wow. We have a little bit of patchiness, so we'll have to adjust for that, but
Cute.
stunning.
Oh my god. I love.
And that's pretty much the whole process. It just needs to be repeated lots of times. Oh my god, I love how these two look together. And then imagine the purple in combination. Oh yeah. Yes, yes, yes. It's gonna be so great. So do we want to match the cover
No, I
or
think-
just complement it?
I think compliment it.
And should we try to find one for all or
No.
or all for one?
Feel like because we want the foil to be like that showstopper and this is just the background, I would probably do something that's more just like in line. What we're looking at right now is another project which I will not fully detail because I do want it to be a little bit of a surprise and it's not going to be ready for at least another month or so. And we're trying to figure out some color combinations. And I think we nailed it. I think we're going to go with this. I would tell you what it's for, but again, I'm going to keep it a little bit secretive just for funsies. Hee 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 hee. This is completely unrelated to everything we've been doing, but Allison just presented me with these most delightful snack I think I've ever had. What are they called? The Frankie's Organic Sweet Potato Baked Fries churro flavor. They are salty, sweet, crunchy. If you have misophonia like I do, just like close your ears. Oh my god. Oh my god. Sarah and Allison did the packaging for this, which is why they have it here. It's super cute. I'm actually freaking out. This is the best thing I've ever had. I'm actually working on some stuff that has to do with this, which was unexpected. I was supposed to be editing my YouTube video that I filmed yesterday, but instead I'm just sitting here doodling. But it's good to have you guys here.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Bye. We're here to look at the couch.
Change the composition of the firmness.
It needs to be like 10% firmer, like barely.
I think that
With the fabric, it
with
will.
the fabric, and don't forget inside.
Yeah.
It's a slip cover. Inside, I put a Dacron. So this is what I'm putting inside around the foam.
I do have a question for you though. Are you, this is the spec?
Yeah, this
This
is 30,
high?
This is 33.
This, I find this high. We're
Yeah,
at the stage where we can lower it.
Yeah, we can.
Florence, what do you think?
Hi. I love, and I'm so happy with our selection. I do think that we have to be a wee bit firmer. I agree with you. And bring this down an inch. And then we're good. I'm super, super excited about it. Yeah. Let's go look at our fabric. I'm so excited.
Ooh, it's exciting. This is our whole roll of fabric. Oh, it's so
OMG.
beautiful. Oh yeah. So the couch is looking great. I mean, it's not really a couch just yet. It's just kind of like a pile of foam, but there were a couple adjustments that needed to be made, as you guys probably heard. Mainly just like the cushion density. We just want it to be a little bit more firm. We're also lowering the size of the back of the frame just a little bit because we felt like it was a little bit too boxy. I also was able to see the fabric for the first time. Obviously, I've seen the fabric before. I've only really seen little swatches, so it was so cool to be able to see the entire roll. Couch should actually be ready in 2 weeks. I'm so excited. Like, this is going to really bring the whole living room together. I am so tired. I don't know why, but I cannot even keep my eyes open. So I'm gonna make a matcha, but the problem is I have no more milk. So I am going to make my homemade coconut milk, and I want to show you guys how I do it because it is such a game changer. So first you want some shredded coconut. I get mine from a brand called Nuttery. This 500-gram bag, I believe, was about like $6. And this entire bag can make me so much coconut milk. And it's great to be able to make your own coconut milk because you know exactly what's going in it. There's none of the fillers that you find in a lot of those like store-bought milks, which I personally like to avoid as much as possible. All you need is a blender. So I'm gonna do 2 cups of the shredded coconut, and then I'm gonna do 4 cups of cold filtered water. 2, 3, and then you can add any extras. I like to put just a little bit of pink salt. I like to put some dates. 4. You can also put cinnamon or vanilla, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna leave it at that. And then you just wanna blend it. Then once you're done blending, this is the most laborious part of the process, but it's very easy. You just wanna take one of these little mesh bags. This will just help to strain out all of the pulp and any chunks that are still in there. So you can see all the pulp that's sitting at the top over here. That's what we want to strain out. So you kind of just want to pour it like directly in the bag. And then you want to squeeze all the liquid out from the bag. And you could totally keep all of this that's left in the bag, and you could bake with it, do other fun things with it. I really do not like the taste of coconut milk that I buy from the store. I find it just does not taste very good. The taste of homemade coconut milk is beyond. It's so creamy and so delicious, and I use it in absolutely everything. I use it in my coffee, my matcha, I use it in my oats. The one con to homemade milks really of any kind is that they go bad pretty quickly. So if you don't feel like you're gonna be using a lot, definitely make a smaller batch so that you're not wasting, because it does go bad, probably within like 4 or so days. And then to store it, I have this glass bottle here. This was an almond milk, and I very unsuccessfully tried to rip off the label, as you can see, but now I just use it to store my coconut milk. I actually made the perfect amount this time. Oh my God, look at that. Perfect. Quick taste test. Delicious. So good. I'm telling you guys, you have to try homemade coconut milk. It is beyond.